This video will go over the new WASD movement in League of Legends, which has just hit the PBE. When you load into a game, you have the choice to use these WASD controls instead. This is where your entire character's movement is now used by WASD, and all your abilities go to right mouse click, shift, Q, and E. However, these can all be rebinded, and I quite like just moving my Q back to Q, E back to E, Alt back to R, and W to right mouse click. But as W is the only one you've actually lost access to, you can just move that to anything. So, as everyone's worked out already, ADCs are the ones who benefit most from this change. This change essentially allows you to perfectly kite and perfectly chase down. You'll no longer be misclicking your movement, and you now don't have to drag your mouse between walking behind you or in front of you while also clicking the enemy. Early game, this isn't that important. Your attack speed is so low that it's not that difficult to click your enemy, then move to where you want to, and then click them again. But every bit of attack speed your character gains shortens that window you have to do everything. So, it's when ADCs are hitting late game teamfights this becomes particularly amazing. Being able to perfectly spam out every single bit of damage you physically can, while also getting the maximum movement you physically can, is going to be very strong. I can almost see a world in which people use the normal movement for most of the game, and then when you have enough attack speed you change to this movement. So with ranged auto attackers, if it stays how it is, it's definitely going to be viable. With other roles, it feels a bit stranger. With melee champions, it definitely feels a bit clunky, where if you go to attack someone but you're not quite in range, your character won't move towards them if you interrupt it with your WASD movement, and it becomes particularly weird for roles like jungle. The map in League of Legends doesn't have your opponent's base left or right or up or down, it has it in the top right or bottom left. This means when moving between your camps, you kind of have to diagonally move through the jungle, and because of this jankier movement, I was finding I was losing time on my jungle clears. Next, one of the biggest changes that comes with this is you more or less have to use locked camera. Most people who watch my videos know I always advocate for getting off locked camera as fast as you can. But with these controls, if you move your camera away from your character, you now have to perfectly move your character into the new area, where before you can just click in the new area knowing your character will 100% walk to there. So, as a good middle ground, they've introduced dynamic camera. This is where it always keeps your character in the screen, but also allows you to see a lot more of the map than fixed camera. Honestly, this will be a great tool for new players and is a good way to address the issues. The other thing that's important to mention, of course, is that it is on the PBE, which means it's not hitting live. The balance team do seem super aware that this could be incredibly overpowered. I'm sure they don't want a situation in which you have to use this, and they especially won't want it to be meta where you have to change your controls midway through the game, otherwise you're not getting perfect kiting. It's going to stay on the PBE for a few patches before moving to normals, then moving to ranked, which hopefully gives them enough time to make it viable but not brokenly overpowered. So, my thoughts on all this. These changes have been brought in to help new players pick up the game with controls that are more familiar to them. I think this is a very good thing. League of Legends is just a very difficult game to pick up. My entire channel is built around helping people get better and more knowledgeable about the game, and it definitely seems that Rito know that it's difficult to get into the game and are making active steps to help. And because they seem aware that it could be a massive balance issue, I'm quietly hopeful.